about how I found the artists that worked with me on my various projects. My brother contacted me the other day and asking me how I found the people who draw for me in my various projects, and since I've been doing that for a long time and I had a lot of experience about that, and apparently it's not something that's that known to other people, I thought that I share my experience of doing that. Of course, it's not the only way, it's just one way, the way that I know. And if you have other ideas, feel free to share it down in the comment below so everybody can see them and it can help everybody. So in my case, I will talk about two main projects that I have, kind of huge projects. The first one was a cheerleading game that I did back 10 years ago. I was the game designer, so creating everything like gameplay, managing also the project and everything, and my boyfriend would program the game, but we needed an artist. And the second project is my new brand Fluffytory, that of course you know all about, and that started with me needing an artist to make my own prints, but you know the story. And if you don't, go watch the video that I'll link up there and you'll know all about how I started Fluffytory. Anyways, it all started 10 years ago when I needed an artist for a cheerleading game. So as you may know, cheerleaders are usually depicted not in the most, how do you say that politely, best way. Okay, so usually if you type cheerleader drawing, you will end up finding very short skirt, two sexy girls, or just pictures, and that was not what I wanted. And of course not sexy at all. I wanted really kind of sporty girl, dressed in a cheerleading uniform and everything. And so how I did to find an artist doing that is that I went on a website called DeviantArt. Of course I will link it down below, and I looked at artists drawing cheerleaders. I can't remember right now if it was 200 pages, probably something like that. And I remember I spent days going on looking at all the different pictures, all the miniatures of the small drawings, until I find a couple, I think in that case only one girl, who drew very cool cheerleaders, and I think it was for her father football team that had also cheerleaders or something, and she did them for the website or something like that. And I fell in love with that artist, and I contacted her, and by luck she was able to work with me on that project. And she was not really super expensive because she had other jobs, or she was right now a stay-at-home mom, I can't remember, but she could really do an affordable job for a small business like us. We had no money and we just use our own money that we saved to do that game, so we could not pay a big huge artist to do that. The thing is, for me, I'm just astonished as the quality of stuff that you can find on that website. Of course there's also very bad quality, but there's so many super talented artists over there, and most of them are not living off their talent, and I'm so sad because most of them have to do that in their spare time because they cannot afford to live off their art. And I think that's a totally different conversation that I will have some other time, and that really bothers me that people are so talented and cannot live off what they are good to do. Anyways, so I found that artist and she was amazing and she agreed to work with me. That was good because I was the only one. And so in other cases, the second project, I wanted to have somebody draw Lolita prints, okay? So basically there's anything on Lolita dresses, okay? So you could have any kind of designs. I could have looked for any kind of artist, but that would leave it all open and like tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands of potential artists, and that's too much. So to narrow it down, I wanted to find people who had experience with Lolita, or at least designing Lolita dresses or a prince or something. Somebody that knows the fashion in the industry a little bit, so that would help me work with them on the final project. So of course, if you cannot find somebody that targeted, then you can broaden your focus, but in my case I could have gone with anyone. So I decided to look for Lolita prince or Lolita dress or something, and there was a lot also of designs, many pages. And so in my cases I also wanted to do cute kawaii characters or cute animals or stuff like that. And so I ended up for that project contacting I would say at least 20 different people. So what I usually do is that my way of browsing on the internet is I always either go right click and open in a new tab. Of course I do tabs, not all windows of course. Or I just hold shift and click on the link, and I will open all the links that I want to see. So usually what I do is I scan a whole page and I open all the things and links that I want to see, and maybe I do that for a couple of pages, and then I have tons of tabs open, and then I go through all, and if I'm not interested anymore I close them, and then I can drag and drop them and sort them out if I want to categorize them. For example, I don't know, all the people who drew on the print, all the people who drew small animals, stuff like that. Of course I also do that for shopping. When I go in a website there's tons of different stuff like for craft. I open so many tabs and then I compare the prices and the pictures and everything. So I find that way of surfing very efficient, but it's a bit overwhelming if you're not used to that. But anyways, so then what I would do, I think I would, all the drawings of artists that I liked, I would create a folder of folders of artist names. So I created a whole folder, and then that's the artist that I really liked, so I created a folder with the name of the artist, and then I went on their profile page and I looked almost at the whole gallery with a lot of stuff, and I picked 3 or 4 images that I really liked, and I put them in the folder with the name. And I do that for all the artists that I like, and then I do a master folder that say yes, and a folder that say no, and one that say maybe. Of course I use also that kind of stuff for different things, not just finding artists. So then if I grabbed everything that I needed from the internet, I have everything on my PC, and that's way easier for me to browse through the pictures and everything. And so then I will look at each of the artists' file. When I see so many different artists, I have a better vision of, is it something that I want for my brand or not? And sometimes you go into a project and you're not really sure yourself where you want to go, so you just look at different things, and while looking you kind of make up your mind narrower of what you will need. So in that case, then I look at the folders with the artist and say, okay, I really like that person, but it's not what I want for that project, so I put it in the folder no. But I don't delete it, because maybe all the people I put in the yes will not answer and I have to go back to this one. Or for a different project, maybe I want to go back to that artist because it would be perfect for that other project. So yeah, so I end up, most of the time I end up putting people in no and maybe, and a few in the yes, and then I have to sort out the maybe, and it takes a lot of rounds. I also do that when I pick pictures from photo shoots that I want to use. I always go yes, no, and maybe. Then it takes so many different iterations to go through the maybe and comparing them all. And when I made up my mind, I have a folder of all the yes. If it's the pictures from a fashion show or a photo shoot, then I just know that I have to take them all and send them to the guy who will cut around so I can use them in my catalog or website or something. But if it's an artist that I need basically most of the time just one. So if I have 10 people in that folder, then I will go back on their page. Of course, I would have saved on the picture also the name. I think if you save a picture from DeviantArt, it will automatically put the name of the artist in the picture name, in the file name. That's super useful. Or what you can do also is just drag and drop the address of the web page, the link, and drag and drop it to your Windows Explorer or Mac or whatever, and it will save the link to that also as a file that you can just double click on it and it opens it. So that's super useful. And so yeah, so now that I have that info, I go back to all the artists that I like and I'll just contact them. Usually I do a basic email that I'm just introducing myself and the project that I want to do and what I would need from them, and I send the same email to all the artists. And then what I'm asking is that, what is your rate? Do you charge on a per project or per hour rate? And what else could you tell me about maybe us working together? What would you need or something like that? So that's the basic thing that I ask. If you want, I could share the kind of email that I write to the artist. Just let me know and I can write a sample one so you have ideas of what kind of the question that I ask. Most of the time I'm not asking I need somebody to work for me for X amount of money or something. Most of the time I'm asking them if they're first interested by the project and want to work with me. Then let's say, okay, let's discuss how you work. For example, for that postcard, I think I found her on her Tumblr page or website or something, and so I contacted her to work with her and she told me, okay, you want a character like that and the background so and so and pictured, and you want to sell it or not sell it. In that case I don't sell it, I just give that card away, and so that's X amount of money, but that's just one image. And I told her that if I liked working with her, I might use her talents for different images if we need to make other postcards or something. But in the case of Flirfitori and Mezzo, I really wanted to create a long relationship, because if I liked what she did and I liked working with her, I really wanted to have her work on all my dresses and everything. And so then you send that batch of emails and then you wait and you hope that people contact you. The thing is, usually I go on DeviantArt like maybe 10, 12 years ago, 15 years ago, I was there all the time. I kept looking at new things that people added, and now I'm not in there anymore, and I don't know why. They don't really, or maybe it was my fault, I didn't do the notifications anymore. But anyways, in my case, if somebody would send me a contact email inside of the website, I would not know about it because it won't send me an email and I didn't know. So probably either some people just abandoned their account or didn't log in and see it, or just ignored my email. And so in most of the case, if you contact like 20%, maybe you get 1 or 2 answers. I don't know, maybe you are luckier than me and you get so many more. Anyways, so just know that if you just contact one person and just hope on them contacting you and willing to work with you and having a price that match your budget, might be difficult. So if you send to many artists, you have more luck of it working. Then you have to negotiate with them. So here's what I want. How do you work? Do you do just one thing and then I pay you, and then what if I'm not happy? Do you do revisions? stuff like that. How do you work? Or if we decide on an hourly salary, how long do you think it will take to finish that piece and stuff like that. So then you have to find an agreement that is a win-win situation that you are happy with and the artist is happy with, because it's really important that you have a good relationship with the person if you want to keep working for a long time. So then usually you get a few answers and you compare the prices and the deadline. Maybe you have a deadline and some could be very affordable and fantastic, but they're not available and they're busy and you need to finish that project before, so you cannot work with them. So you have to see which fits, and let's hope that you can find just one that fits perfectly for you, and then you start working with that person. In my case, most of the time I've worked with them via email, because it was the easiest to just write email and then they send you the file as attachment, or the very big ones they can send you with the WeTransfer or big file sending, whatever. But recently I've been working with Asana, which is a task and collaboration tool. It's free, it's online, and it's super cool because I can write up a task, for example with Mezzo right now, and I say, oh, okay, cool, can you make a banner for the website for so and so, and then I make the task, I can put a deadline, and I can write in the description whatever I want, and she receives an email that I have a new task, and she does the thing, and then she uploads it, and then I can download it from the thing, and then if I lose things on my computer, then I can always go back there and pick up the files. And I also send the pictures of the samples that we do up there so she can see, and you can have so many different people in the task, so all of them can collaborate together and see the files, so that's very useful. Then of course you have to agree on if they want to be paid before or after, and of course you have to pay them. You have to do your end of the bargain. If they have done a drawing for you, you have to pay them, and on time and everything, because you really want to build a good relationship. And something that you have to discuss with them too is that if you can use their work that they have made for you commercially or not. So can you print postcards with them, or will you just use that on the website? And if you do print postcard, will you sell them? Will you just give them out? If it's on a dress, of course you will make money from that picture, so either you agree on a royalty basis, that each dress that you sell with that design, then they will get a percentage off, or you agree that in the price of their work they include a commercial use of their work. So right now what I do with Mezzo is that we agreed together on the hourly rate, and most of the time she just sends me at the end of the month invoice with all the details. So I worked that many hours on the new dress, and I did 2 hours of whatever banner work or stuff like that, and then she gives me the cost, and then I pay her. Right now she's in Germany and I'm in Switzerland, and we are doing bank transfer because the fees are lower, but of course you can use PayPal with most people all over the world. PayPal tends to have a very high percentage fee. I think it's something around 4 or 5%. So if the money is really high, it can be a really big amount of money. If it's a couple of hundreds, more than a few hundreds, definitely go with bank transfer, and maybe the fees are like in the $20 something for international transfers. So really, if it's under 100, 150 something, it's good that you send with PayPal, because it's really easy and most of people have it. But really consider bank transfer if you can, because when it's a bigger amount, it's cheaper. And of course most people that are not businesses would require you to pay the PayPal fees, and they ask you to send the money like if it's for friends and family and not for goods. And so be ready to pay the fees, but that's also something that you can discuss with the artist. So I think that's all I can think of right now. So if you have questions, feel free to let me know and write down below, and I can really help you if you have questions on how to discuss or negotiate something with an artist, or how to find an artist, and let me know. I would be more than willing to help you. And so if you like that video and would like me to do more videos like that, I will do one for how to find suppliers in overseas, because I've been requested something like that, and I also know a lot about that, so I could totally share that. So if you like that kind of videos, let me know in the comments that you like them, and so I'll start making more. And of course, consider subscribing and also like that video if you like it. So thank you for watching, and see you soon. Bye bye.